Why trading Yu Darvish was a smart move for the Rangers. The Rangers signed Yu Darvish out of Japan back before the 2012 season. There was a real good chance he was one of the top pitchers in the entire world, and while injuries have derailed those Texas did get was still great. Darvish posted a 125 ERA with the Rangers over 5 seasons and 6 years, striking out 11 batters per 9 despite working his home games in a park where leaving the wrong pitch in the strike zone meant runs were going to score. That's all over now, as Darvish has been dealt to the Dodgers to play out the rest of his contract. It's an obvious smart move for Los Angeles, which gets the backup for Clayton Kershaw the team has arguably needed in each of the last 4 seasons where they won the National League West. It's also an intelligent move for the Rangers, even if it's one that was difficult to make. Texas was initially opposed to the idea of trading Darvish, as it instead wanted to hold on and wait for a run that could propel it closer to a playoff spot. Even today, as of the start of play on July 31st, the Rangers sit just 5.5 games back of a wild card in the AL with 2 months of games left on the schedule. That difference could be made up in the right 2 weeks. Never mind 2 months. But it wasn't going to be easy and nothing was guaranteed. Plus, Darvish could very well leave at the end of the season, and with the new collective bargaining agreement complicating the rules for compensation, there was a chance the Rangers would lose twice. First, lose out on a playoff spot, and then, see Darvish leave for another team as a free agent, with only a pick in the 75 to 80 range coming back to them as compensation. If Darvish had been a free agent this time a year ago, things would have been different in the Rangers' minds. They would have received a first-round pick back as compensation for Darvish's departure, and that fact would have meant serious leverage for them at the deadline, as teams would have needed to match or exceed that kind of potential in order to pry Darvish from them. With the new CBA making free agency a bit more player-friendly than it was by removing some of the difficulties having compensation attached to a player created, that tactic was out the window. The Rangers realized this, but they still weren't going to give up Darvish for nothing, and they didn't. Willie Calhoun might not have been the very best prospect the Dodgers possess, but he's a 22-year-old who is mashing in AAA, with his most significant issue being his lack of a position. The Rangers are in the American, so if the worst thing that happens here is that Calhoun becomes a DH who makes the lives of opposing pitchers terrible, then they've done just fine. They didn't only get Calhoun, but they also acquired AJ Alexy and Brendan Davis. Alexy is a 19-year-old in low A who has struck out 10.5 batters per 9 as a starter, while he's also walked far too many batters. The whiffs, the youth, and the potential for a plus curveball make those walks tolerable for now. He could very well grow out of them as he learns some control on his move up the ladder, as more advanced opponents can sometimes force that education on a pitcher. As for Davis, he's also 19, and toolsy. He hasn't succeeded in the same way Alexy has, but he's 64 and waiting to add the size that comes with that frame in your 20s. When he does, he could